I recently started a design business with no experience, no education, no clients, no financial safety net, and no real idea where to start, what to do, or where to go. And maybe that's a good thing, or maybe that's a terrible idea and I am doomed for failure. I have been on so many different career paths over the last 15 years, and each time I encounter a new situation or a new circumstance, I find myself asking questions of what to do, where to go, what to do next, which direction to take, and whether or not this is the right step for me. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit of my story of how I started Fohrm Studio in the hopes that it will be an encouragement to anyone else out there who may be struggling with the same things. Maybe you've just been laid off, or you're thinking about starting your own business, or just searching for insight into what to do with your life. I hope that my story and my experience can be helpful for you. Now, a few disclaimers before we get into anything. I don't think there's any real right way to do your career. There are so many different experiences. Every person is different. Every journey is different. And there's not really a right path. I'm still learning and growing just like everyone else. And life doesn't always turn out the way that we think it will. So we just have to keep moving, make the best decisions that we can with the choices that we've made, and be kind and gentle to ourselves in our own journey. Second, this won't be as much focused on the design part of my career journey as much as the path that I've taken to get me to this point. I'll talk about design stuff in a future video, but for now, I just wanted to talk more about my story and my journey and how I got to where I am today. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I have had so many different career paths over the course of my 15 or so years since college. I originally did my undergrad and my graduate in theology and in leadership, and always thought I would be working in a church or teaching at a school or something like that. And I definitely did that in the beginning of my journey. I worked at churches and I taught at schools. And then later on in my career, I got sort of a dream job opportunity and moved to Vancouver, British Columbia to work at a church and to also teach at a college. And it was sort of the dream job for me. I was so excited about it. After a couple years, I started to feel like this journey wasn't really working out the way that I thought it would. Money was tight. I had no real flexibility with my schedule. I was short with my family. I was experiencing a lot of anxiety. And then in the midst of all of that, I got laid off from both jobs, lost my work visa, and had to move back here to the States. I knew I had all of these passions and these dreams and this vision about what my life would be like, but I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't make things work. My job wasn't working. The money wasn't working. And I had no idea what to do or where to go. And when we moved back to the States, we moved to Portland, Oregon, and the only job that I could find was to sell mattresses at the mall, which, yes, if you're wondering, was not my dream job and not the way that I thought my life would turn out. This ended up being one of the most discouraging and lonely and depressing moments of my entire life. I was burnt out. I was stressed. Money was still tight. My family was suffering, and I had no idea what to do. And in what seemed like a stroke of luck, I ended up getting a job working at the front desk of this tech startup, which I thought would be amazing. I would get my start in tech. And as I started going and building relationships with people, COVID hit and I lost that job, and I was back to square one of having, again, no idea what to do, which direction to take, and how I was supposed to make a career out of anything. So after multiple layoffs and burnouts and struggles, I sort of came to a crossroad that I had been at many times before. See, I am wired to dream big. I'm a very visionary person with a desire to literally change the world. And I care deeply about how those dreams are accomplished. I care about ethics, and I care about politics, and I care about the culture of business and what everybody is doing and where everybody is going and how people are treated. Those are things that are really, really important to me. And each job that I was in, I felt like I was serving someone else's vision. I was building someone else's culture. I had no real say in what was happening or the culture of the business or the organization. I had no say in the direction of things. And I was just sort of at the whim of whoever my boss was and sort of at the whim of whatever they wanted. I had to just do. But creating culture and having say in the vision and the experience that people have is something that I care deeply about. And I kept coming back to this crossroads of being in an organization, but struggling to know how to change that company or that organization from within. I was trying really hard to do that in different ways, but never really felt like I was making any ground in that. It was at this time that I started to ask deep questions about what I wanted in the world. What do I want out of my career? How can I make a difference? What's the best route for me to take? And it seemed like there were so many options. I could either go back to working at a place that I didn't really believe in. I could try to just find a job and just live a quiet life and make ends meet. Or the other option that was on the table was to start my own thing, which was terrifying because I I had never really done that before, especially when it comes to business. I am not super business minded. I don't have education or experience in starting or running my own business. And so the idea of launching out and doing my own thing with, like I mentioned, no experience, no clients, no real idea what to do was really terrifying for me. But I kept coming back to this notion, this feeling that I had that I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to build a culture. I wanted a say in how things were run and how decisions were made. So it was in the midst of all of that that I decided to start my own business and started Fohrm Studio. I am almost 12 months into this journey and started out doing it part-time and am now doing it full-time. And I don't think that I could say it has been successful so far. It is hard for me to find clients. It's hard for me to make a name for myself. It's hard for me to build my own brand and to get my name out there and to get my work out there. And starting anything from scratch is hard enough, let alone starting something from scratch in a niche field and trying to build an entire business out of it. But like I said, I am a dreamer. I care deeply about changing the world, about building something meaningful, about affecting people's lives in a really positive way. And I felt like based on everything that I had gone through and everything that I've experienced, the only real way for me to do that was to sort of be my own boss, to forge my own way, to make my own way in the world. And the reason I wanted to make this video was not as some wild success story about just go out there and do it. You're going to be successful as long as you put in the work, because I know that just putting in the work doesn't guarantee that you'll be successful. As we're seeing so much right now, a ton of people are getting laid off. There's an economic crisis happening. So many people are struggling with work and finance and career, and there's just no real right answers or right paths to take in the world. And so I wanted to make a video to just encourage somebody out there who may be struggling, who just get laid off, who is dreaming about the world. I just want to encourage you that it's okay to dream. It's okay to take risks. It's okay to build your own thing. It's also okay to just try to find a job and just survive. I am trying to build something meaningful out of Fohrm. I really want to partner with ambitious people, like-minded people who have the same values that I do, who care about the same things in the world, and are trying to build a better world with what we have right now. And maybe it'll be successful. Maybe I'll start to find clients and I'll have to turn people away because I have so many people wanting me to build out their brand identity. Or maybe it won't, and it will fail and I won't find clients and I'll have to try something else in 6 months or a year from now. I don't really know. And sometimes life doesn't work out the way that we think. I didn't think 5 years ago that I would be here, that I would be starting my own business, that I would be working for myself, that I would be working from home all the time and not being around colleagues. I didn't think that would be my life, and here I am. And more often than not, the direction of our life takes us to places that we didn't plan for and we didn't expect. We find ourselves encountering situations and experiences that we don't really know what to do with, and it's confusing and it's scary and we don't really have direction as to what to do. And I just want to encourage you out there, that's okay. A lot of us are experiencing the same things, and it's really, really hard right now. There's no easy answers. There's no easy jobs. There's no easy way to make it in the world. I know that firsthand, but I just want to encourage you to believe in yourself, to trust yourself, and to take risks. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. And it's important for you to just be gentle with yourself, to keep trying, to keep going, to keep building, and hopefully things work out in the end. If my life has taught me anything, it's that things don't always go as planned, and you just got to be flexible and adapt with whatever you're given. So maybe I'll be successful, and maybe I won't. Only time will really be able to tell. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments and let me know if you've ever been stuck in your career and what you did to get unstuck from your career. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.